Welcome back. Still Super FM 92.7, your one family, one radio station. We're talking health and wellness. We're talking expired and fake products. Now, we're starting with expired products and how it can affect your health and what to be careful about. Now, we've been able to create a standard that when it says best before, it means you can get the best quality before this date. And that it's not necessarily that it might affect your health if you use it. Okay, and we also talked about even expired products and that there are some other riders that say use before this date or must have been done by this date. Exactly. Now, there are certain products that when you open, you said use all of when you, okay, like probably a product that says, oh, when you use this thing, you must ensure that you finish it and that if you are leaving it overnight or something, or you refrigerate, and if you are using it after that time, you shouldn't exceed 2 or 3 days. Exactly. Let's talk about that as well.
Okay. So now let's sorry, I should also add this, that expiry
date conversation.
Expiry date conversion. That doesn't apply to food for babies and medications.
Okay.
Exactly.
So if it's for babies and medication, if it's expired, please don't try it.
Babies' food, no. Though in some countries they still even allow that for medication, for some medications, but you have to double check with them. But for baby food, no way.
Okay, so let's make the clarification. So in some countries, we're not saying in Nigeria,
yes.
In some countries in the world, if you've used the medication and maybe they wrote it that after this time don't use again, but whatsoever, or that it expired, that even if you want to, you first confirm with the manufacturers.
Exactly.
And in those countries, I'm sure there are statutory follow-ups that you can do. You call a particular number to say, this is the time of the night. We don't think we can get a new one, but we want to administer some to the baby. Is it still permissible to use this at this time? And then you can now get a yes or no from the manufacturer that will be recorded as, they gave you the directive to do that. But please, we're not endorsing that you should use expired drugs,
not at all,
or food for your babies. Please,
no. Baby is a no. For drugs too is always a no, especially in Nigeria where we're even having issues of fake drugs or counterfeit drugs already.
Of course, yeah.
So I mean that one, you're assuming that you buy a drug that has potential, knowing that you're buying just chalk.
Yeah.
There is no active ingredient in that product. So that one is already doing is already doing worse already. And now imagine you having to use an expired of that one, expired of a counterfeit
drug.
Wow. I mean, so there was no potency before. It was even doing bad. I mean, imagine a service provider administering a particular milligrams or doses of this drug to somebody, assuming that he has the stated potency and the grams, unknown to the person that is not, and the patient is not receiving any help.
Yeah.
Rather, it is deteriorating and even having some adverse effects.
Yeah.
I mean, this is still to buttress what you said, that maybe these people that manufacture these things, they don't really consider other people.
Human life,
They absolutely don't consider that. Their major concern is about money. Profits and money, how to make money. And they really know the impact of this on human health.
Okay, well, which is why the onus is on us as people. If you notice some hanky-panky, you live in a neighborhood where you are very sure that people are producing things that could be hazardous to health, but maybe for food or consumption. You know that this thing, they're counterfeiting it in your neighborhood. You need to speak up. You need to go to the Nigerian police or the agencies, the National Agency for Food Drug Administration, that's NAFDAC, and some others that, the Standards Organization of Nigeria. You can report these things and make sure that these things are nipped in the bud so that we don't continue having counterfeit or fake products out there. Now, we're still trying to elaborate on the expired food products and everything. Now, in what case? So, of course, something says best before the 20th of February 2025, and someone is still selling this thing on the 5th of March 2025.
The person selling it has no right to sell it. It shouldn't even be on the counter by that time again. So this, if it was in your house, it is a different case, and it was under a good condition, good temperature. But for sale, the person selling has no right to sell it if it has even exceeded the date that was stated on those stuff. So I'd have left the shelf already, because if they go to if regulatory body goes to check their premises and see this, they're already in trouble.
Okay, so now that you mentioned that, of course, I would like to know the regulatory bodies that are in charge, because sometimes, a long time ago, not recently, but I think about last year or so, there's a particular brand of cookies that my daughter likes to eat, and I like to eat it as well. And so the day I went to buy it, I think for some level of oversight, I didn't check the expiry date or something on the best before. And when I bought it and we got home, I noticed that, cookies are supposed to be a certain level of consistency or hardness.
Yes.
Yeah, but this one was kind of doughy and it was just breaking off. And when I opened a particular one, I had not given it to my daughter. I just opened and put it in my mouth, and I noticed it was soft.
The taste, okay.
And the taste was kind of off. And like you said
organoleptic check as well.
Organoleptic test.
Exactly.
So that was some form of organoleptic test for me.
Absolutely was.
And I felt like, oh, this is something I just bought yesterday and today. And I took it back to the brand. To the supermarket I bought it from. It was not in Lagos, it was in Ibadan. And I took it back there, and they were like, oh, we sincerely apologize. Did you check the expiry date before? But I said, no, I didn't. And I usually would do that. And they said, oh, when did you buy? I said, yesterday, and I came with the receipt. And, I saw the person, I think it was a manager. No, I gave it to a clerk or service or someone, a sales rep. And the person wanted to put it back on the counter. I was like, I don't think you should do that. Can I speak with your manager? And I did that, there should be a standard that we have in places like that where people are continuously checking to see. Now, in that instance, what I didn't have a lot of information as whether it was hazardous to my health or to my daughters. But really, in that instance, how do we follow through to make sure that we have certain standards in certain places? Because certain places, they would probably not even address you. They say you bought it yesterday. How do we know you didn't switch it somewhere or whatsoever? But then let's have a conversation about standards and all those kind of things when it comes to food and expiry dates and the likes.
Okay, so I'll first start with the management of the place too.
Okay.
So it's their responsibility to really check when these dates are closed. When the use-by dates are closed, they will now take this product and put out for sales. Like people will now say this
50% off.
Exactly, off sale. So and they're not, they will declare the purpose. They will let you know that this is why they're selling it off by that time.
Most of the places we buy from, they don't write it, or they don't tell us why they're putting it.
I've seen two around VI Lekki here that they'll put it on sale, and they will now state because this is
close to the expiry date.
Close to.
Okay, well, in most places we don't see that.
Yeah. Then they're not doing well because consumer education is really a thing. For manufacturers, for you as a vendor, supposed to educate your consumers so that they know exactly what they're getting. Because it is on, you are liable in a way to give people what is not good for them to consume. Like the one that you did, you took it was part of use by and it was actually bad.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't the consistency and the flavor. Exactly. So it was already bad already. So that's supposed not to be.
If I had ingested that, what were the likely issues that I could have experienced?
People react to them differently, but common one would have been abdominal problems. Some people would have vomiting. Some could have reactions like rashes. Some could have lips could be swollen. Yeah. So that's why for kids is a no-no. Obviously, kids have the immunity are not so strong.
Yeah.
Kids and the elderly, geriatric and pediatric, they are not so strong.
Yeah.
So now we are really careful what they consume. Yeah. So if you were to be someone that has a compromised immune system already, their reaction will be different of food, counterfeit food or expired food or product. Could be abdominal problems, could be diarrhea, it could even be constipation. Yeah. It could even be a case where someone is admitted.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Some of these things can even lead to death. The suspension was in Healh in Nigeria, and this thing was absolutely expired, and they use a wrong solvent to even dissolve, and kids die. Children die. Yes.
Wow.
I mean, these are not things that people joke with, and there are instances where people consciously produce wrong thing and put for sale, and a particular kid took it to school to do birthday. All the kids that consumed that.
Wow.
I mean, the school was even shut. But somewhere in Abuja, the school was even shut down for a long while. Wow. So you could see how far this could go.
Wow.
So there was another country where that was even an alcohol. Alcohol is not even the best of product on the good there. Yeah. Though we as adults will say we may have
that is adulterated or bad.
So there have been instances of cardiac arrest. There's been organs failure. There could be organs failure. There could be even loss of sight. Now you have to see yourself needing help, and the help is not really available. Yeah. So I mean, if you don't have so much money to seek alternative means, the person might be in ICU or worse.
Okay, so really very interesting narratives, and of course this is some level of sensitization about food and drugs, and products, that we use, because we've seen a lot of adulteration. We've seen a lot of, people just wanting to make profit by all means. So it's expired or it's way past the best before date.
In particular, is really doing a lot in that. But there's a limit to what NAFDAC as an
organization could do.
Just as you said, we have a role to play.
Yes.
We could be the whistleblowers if we not, because these things are not just done in the middle of the air. They are done in some environment.
And people know about them for years.
People know about it. And people
even work there.
People are the ones that do auxiliary packaging material for them. People print the thing that they use.
Yeah.
People do the bottles. People do the packs. People do the foil and everything.
Yeah.
So most of the people know, like, let's assume that you are the real owner of this brand and you are the one that do print this thing, and I now bring this thing for you to print
to
for
adulterate
me.
something.
Exactly. Yeah. And you as a printer or you as a manufacturer, you wouldn't even think that this is not proper, and you still do because you too want to make money.
Yeah.
So in a way, we all have a role to play. It's a chain. So all of us, we have a hand into it.
Yeah.
Now, the government alone will not sort Nigeria. The government alone will not sort safety or health concerns. We all have a hand to
a part to play.
So now, speaking of NAFDAC, there is this short code that the letter introduced for like
if you buy,
it really helps, and it's actually free. You don't need to have a time on your phone. So having that there will help check. But some people, even in a health facility somewhere in Lagos there, and they were to administer intravenous infusion drip for the mom.
Yeah.
She just felt the need to check that particular one, and behold, there were some particles. There was a spa. There were some particles inside.
Wow.
And you now send in something.
Even in the hospital, even in healthcare, you need to double check what you have been given.
Need to, because they're too. They are human.
And oversights could come.
Exactly. It could come. And already even over I mean, the GP, the general practitioner, will see more than the number of people that he's supposed to see.
Yeah.
So I'm not making excuses for them not to do their behavior sometimes. I know my job. Yes, they know their job. They are not, the person here doesn't concern them more than as it concerns you. So you too should double check. The medication that
because this is a member of your family or your child or father or mother.
It is your loss, not their loss. If anything happens to the person, move on. They just increase the mortality rate of Nigeria, and it doesn't concern them, but it concerns you. It is your loss. So you too need to put your eye and really check what is being administered to your loved one. So back to NAFDAC. NAFDAC is really doing a lot to
sensitize.
Exactly, but at the same time, these people are becoming more in there. Like these fake
products, slingers and everything.
You could see these people invest so much money into these things. I'm like, so if you had this much money, why didn't you really do an arrangement with real professionals and open a proper one that is safe, rather than doing the one that will kill people, that will send people to hospital, that will give people terminal illnesses? It still boils down to the fact that they are concerned about the monetary part of it. It is profit against, and they wouldn't know, most times even their loved one might end up consuming these things. Because if they,
in fact, the Yorubas will say if you throw a stone in the market, it will land on your family member's head.
Yes. So I mean, this will most likely happen because food. Everybody loves food in some cases.
Yeah.
They cannot control where this thing will go to. If it's already selling to trade and it's being distributed, your child may consume.
I want to ask this question as we wrap things up, because I think sometimes even brands because I hear that this is not the brand, but then somehow the brands these things get into the distribution chain of brands. Talking to for a while who are into healthcare, and their representatives was with me on the program, and he said they have a way of checking that whatever batches are coming into their systems, they have a way of checking everything. They open it up to look at it and do intricate checks to see that those adulterated ones are not getting into their ranks. And I feel the onus is on brands to look into that, because if you are a reputable brand, you're somewhere on the Victoria Island or you're in Ikeja or where, and people are bringing adulterated products into your sales space, I think the onus is on you to do the double check.
That's absolutely very correct. That still reminds me of some legal practitioners now. They have a particular practice that they'll just randomly go into a particular, let's say, supermarket or to just, you're already like, it's mostly their procurement officers, the storekeepers that want to play a fast one on them, and they wouldn't want to go and purchase from the manufacturers. They know their friend, a brother that does this, and they now do that.
Well,
so and them too, they are really insensitive. They know the effect of this, but they still do because They still need money, and it's still moral decadence in a way as well.
Okay, so let's just give the public a final note of warning or something that they could hold on to.